Game 1 of the playoffs, the Fever had nearly 2 million viewers tuning in, while all the other games had around 400,000. Even the WNBA Countdown, which was aired before the Indiana Fever game, had more viewers than 2 of the series.
The league versus Caitlin Clark, and that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been there building this league to this moment so that Caitlin Clark's popularity could take it to the next.
Caitlin Clark will be absent from league basketball for an astonishing 23 days. At a time when viewership is already declining following her playoff defeat.
It looks like we're not going to be seeing Caitlin Clark play basketball again for another 200 days. An ESPN reporter said at the end of the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun Game 2 that Caitlin Clark almost definitely will not be playing basketball this offseason. So no overseas and no 3-on-3 unrivaled.
Experts and fans have officially turned away from the WNBA, declaring they won't be watching. But let's dive into exactly how Caitlin Clark has influenced the league this year. What you're about to see will blow your mind.
The 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did this year.
Believe it or not, Caitlin Clark's announcement sent shockwaves through the fanbase. Now, analysts like Molly Karim and Monica McNutt on ESPN are set to uncover who the true face of the WNBA is. With Caitlin gone, attendance is expected to hit an all-time low this season.
I wonder if Caitlin, in every post-game press conference, she came out and talked about the kind of hateful comments that she was getting. If she came out and told everybody the reason why she has personal security that goes with her every single place. It's a lot. And so it's not just Caitlin Clark fans or Indiana Fever fans. It is not all going in one direction.
Caitlin Clark, the Iowa superstar, has officially concluded her debut season in the WNBA, leaving an undeniable mark on the league. The rookie phenom, celebrated for her deep-range shooting and elite playmaking, mesmerized fans all season, shattering viewership and attendance records wherever she played. Unfortunately, Clark's electrifying rookie campaign ended with a tough playoff loss to the Connecticut Sun, cutting short what many had hoped would be a deeper postseason run. Still, her impact on the league is immeasurable. This season, she was the driving force behind the Fever's league-leading attendance numbers, both at home and on the road.
This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie, targeted by society, targeted by her looks, targeted by her reputation, targeted by the disrespect that they've shown to the WNBA. She said, no, they're expecting this rookie class to be perfect. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years.
Whenever Caitlin Clark stepped on the court, arenas were packed with eager fans, many traveling across the country just to witness her deep-range shooting, pinpoint passing, and electrifying basketball IQ. Her performances were nothing short of mesmerizing, drawing massive crowds and elevating the Fever's national profile. As a result, the Fever became one of the most watched teams in the WNBA, experiencing a surge in popularity unlike anything the league had seen. However, with Clark no longer in the playoffs, the WNBA is in serious trouble.
The Caitlin Clark effect is definitely real. I mean, we can all see that. However, experiencing it in person is totally different. I was at the Fever and Indiana game last night. And the amount of 22s that I saw on the way to the arena and inside the Capital One arena might as well have just been a home game for Caitlin Clark. Not Indiana, Caitlin Clark. The thing is, that didn't surprise me. But what did surprise me was how packed the game was.
And it's not just Fever fans feeling the void. Clark's absence is already sending shockwaves through the WNBA. Viewership is taking a noticeable hit, with weekend matchups typically among the most watched games of the season, projected to see a significant decline. Fans weren't just tuning in for their favorite teams. They were tuning in for Caitlin Clark, whose electrifying performances made her must-see TV. She has transcended the role of just a team player. Clark is a bona fide superstar whose influence stretches far beyond the Fever. Her absence from the playoffs isn't just a setback for her team. It's a major loss for the entire WNBA, as she was the driving force behind the league's surging audience.
Caitlin's departure, do we think that these new WNBA fans are going to stick around for the rest of the playoffs? The Liberty Aces series might be one that draws some numbers. The disparity between 1.8 million and around 400,000 is wild, especially with football season being in full swing.
It's rare for a rookie to have such a seismic impact on a professional league, but Caitlin Clark is anything but ordinary. From the moment she stepped onto a WNBA court, She commanded attention, her electrifying performances immediately placing her in conversations typically reserved for all-time greats. Many have drawn comparisons between her impact on the WNBA and the influence of LeBron James and Stephen Curry in the NBA. Clark's excitement factor extended far beyond her own fan base. She became a league-wide phenomenon. Her rare ability to dominate offensively while elevating her teammates with a light playmaking made her a true unicorn on the court. The fact that so many fans have chosen to tune out of the WNBA playoffs without her speaks volumes about the unparalleled impact she has made in just a single season.
Okay, now let's not talk viewership, let's talk ticket sales. Bear with me. Ticket sales grew in 2023 by 16% from 2022. Ticket sales have grown by 93% in 2024. What that means is without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA would have taken till 2029 or 2030 to get to where Caitlin Clark has gotten.
Looking back at Caitlin Clark's season, it's evident that fatigue played a major role in the Fever's inability to make a deeper playoff run. Clark endured an exhausting schedule, playing an immense number of games between college and the WNBA, nearly matching the workload of NBA stars over a full regular season. In a grueling stretch, she went from leading Iowa to the NCAA Finals, straight into the WNBA season, and then directly into the playoffs, with little time to rest or recover. Given that demanding schedule, it's no surprise that by season's end, she appeared to be running on fumes. Yet even in those physically taxing moments, Clark continued to deliver elite performances, showcasing her remarkable endurance, basketball IQ, and unwavering willpower. Facing off against the Connecticut Sun, she left everything on the floor, putting up 25 points, dishing out 9 assists, and bringing her trademark fire and intensity to the court. Despite her heroic effort, it wasn't enough to keep the Fever's playoff hopes alive. Clark never shied away from the moment, trying to put the team on her back in crucial stretches. However, as brilliant as she is, basketball remains a team sport, and the Fever's struggles to provide consistent support on both ends of the floor ultimately sealed their fate.
With Caitlin comes millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs. And with those millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs,
Fouls became an unfortunate part of the storyline in Caitlin Clark's final game, with several questionable calls going against her, sparking frustration among fans and analysts alike. Many speculated whether she was being officiated differently due to her rising star status. These calls disrupted her rhythm and limited her ability to fully take control of the game. Yet, despite the adversity, Clark remained poised. She refused to let the setbacks shake her composure, continuing to push her team forward with relentless determination, willing them toward the next round. However, without consistent offensive support from her teammates and a bit more luck on the defensive end, her heroic efforts simply weren't enough to overcome the Suns' relentless play.
The response of folks that don't think she is praised enough and she is above reproach in terms of criticism, or that praising another player is an affront to her, is like, whoa, bro. Like, also, like, you're not mentioned talking about women's basketball. I've never ever seen you before in my life.
Things that this group accomplished that, you know, a lot of people probably didn't think was possible, one, to start the season, and two, after the start we had to the season. So, yeah, it'll definitely be probably a little weird for me over the course of the first couple weeks, and then I'm sure I'll get bored and pick up a basketball again. So,
but they don't want it to grow if it's certain people at the face, and there is still this undertone of jealousy that for some reason I cannot get around calling it anything else but that, because I don't know what else it could be. I thought it was going to get better this season, but it hasn't. There are still people who seemingly, to me, feel like they just don't want Caitlin to be a part of it.
It's the major point that you want to make here, your major thesis statement on this, because every time Caitlin Clark comes up, I feel like there's something that you want to get off your chest in terms of this narrative, where you're frustrated.
Well, first of all, I'm not frustrated. Number two, I did get stuff off my chest on numerous occasions. I'm just reiterating my points, because I think one of the things that needed to be mentioned was that even though Caitlin Clark is new to this, and even though she has proven to be a potentially sensational player, the resentment that some, not most, not all, that stuff that was going on was real.